Ma'am, dialing 911 to compel a land sale is not an emergency. The voice of the officer crackled through my gate's intercom, hitting off the iron fencing as my security cameras flashed red. Pamela Vance stood at the entrance, wobbling in stilettos and a sparkling turquoise blouse flailing her arms like she was conducting a parade. Her platinum bobbed hair with every stomp, "I'm the HOA president," she shrieked, face reddening. "I demand this man sell his ranch. It's ideal for the venue of my daughter's wedding from my kitchen." I observed the scene unfolding on my security feeds, sipping coffee and pressing record. Then she said it. "If he doesn't do what he's told, arrest him. He's disobedient of the community." I almost spilled my mug. The officer took a step back in shock. "Ma'am, this ranch isn't part of your HOA. It's private property. You can't dial 911 for this." Pamela didn't mind. She continued screaming, calling my land community space and perfect for pictures. Then she scowled at the camera and spat. "I'll get this land one way or another." She pulled out her phone, dialed, and shouted, "Send someone higher, I want it seized." I stopped in my tracks. Who is she dialing? Now my dog Ranger began barking like a storm was approaching. I ran to the porch only to see two black SUVs pulling up behind the police cruiser. This wasn't a tantrum, this was an ambush. I'm Ethan Cole, 42 years old, retired firefighter on a 5-acre Texas ranch, purchased with my savings and some inheritance from my grandpa, gated private and well out of the local HOA's grasp. It's my haven. I raise rescue horses, cultivate peppers, and spend nights repairing fences with sweet tea in hand after a back injury sent me off the firehouse. This land became my haven for 2 years. It was flawless until Pamela set up in the neat subdivision down the street, a labyrinth of repetitive mailboxes and plastic shrubs. I met her at a local farmer's market, her voice rising above the crowd like a siren. A sash declaring HOA president like Miss America. "And you are?" she asked, surveying my scuffed boots. "Ethan. I own the ranch off Pine View," her eyes sparkling. "That ranch with the large barn. I've been considering it for parties." I raised an eyebrow. "It's not for sale." She didn't appreciate that it began with Nudge's postings on the town app. "Wouldn't Ethan's ranch be a beautiful wedding venue?" Then emails, "We'd love to purchase your ranch for community functions. It would be good for everyone, including you." I tuned them out. She arrived with glossy mock-ups of my barn as a Pamela's Prairie venue. Complete with chandeliers, "I've committed my daughter's wedding here in 6 months." She smiled. I shut her down. "I'm not in your HOA. This is my home." She departed, lips tight, but I knew badness was in the making. Drones began flying over my barn the first time I thought it was kids. The second I brought one down with a slingshot. Silver Pine's HOA survey was stickered on it. I called it in to Sheriff Daniels, who laughed. "Pamela's a handful." But it got ugly. Fake HOA notices showed up citing rusted equipment and non-compliant barn looks. Although I wasn't on the list one morning, 3 cars were in my gate. Pamela and 2 suits patrolling my land like appraisers. "Get out." I weird, "We're wedding planners." She grinned. "You'll see how perfect this could be." I phoned the sheriff, who removed them with a warning, but Pamela wasn't intimidated. That brings us to today, her 911 performance demanding my arrest for not selling, as the officer explained to her. To depart with those SUVs came dust whirling like a sign of ill fortune. Who had she called for men emerged 2 in suits, 2 in black polos with private enforcement tag earpieces and clipboards in hand like they'd just walked off the stage. Pamela beckoned them over. "This is the ranch, just right." I walked off the porch, boots crunching gravel, hand close to my holster, not to scare, just to remind them. I wasn't helpless. "Ethan Cole," the taller suit questioned. I nodded. "We're from Silver Pines' community enforcement. MS Vance had filed complaints regarding your property. We're here to inspect for compulsory acquisition." I blinked. "Acquisition? This is my ranch deed since my grandpa returned from the war." Pamela interrupted. "The HOA board concurs. This land's crucial to our wedding center." I turned toward the polo guys. "You cops?" They shook their heads. "Third-party enforcers. Investigating civic usage disputes." I scoffed. "There's no controversy. I own this land." Cash paid title in my office. One began searching my barn with a device. "Hey," I growled, halting him. Ranger snarled from the yard. "Touch anything and I'm calling the sheriff." Pamela huffed. "You're already under examination." Sheriff Daniels arrived, lights flashing. Pamela rushed him. Arrest this man for obstructing progress. Daniels sighed. Ethan called me. They're trespassing, claiming civic seizure. Pamela waved a binder. This petition signed by 84 Silver Pines residents demands this ranch for our wedding venue. Daniels turned to me. Want her gone, all of them now. Pamela stormed the gate, glaring at the camera. This isn't over, Ethan. You'll regret owning this land. She sped off, the suits and enforcers following. I filed a no trespass order. Thinking it had end there, I was wrong. The next morning, my back paddock was breached, 3 horses loose. Barn lights flickering and community land spray painted my barn white. I discovered a badge in the ground. Silver Pines event team volunteer Jenna angry. I drove to the sheriff with security footage at 2:37 a.m. Jenna, wearing a hoodie, cut my fence with bolt cutters. Pamela standing behind, drinking from a tumbler. Daniel's jaw clenched. We're seeing Pamela. Pamela wasn't HOA President Crown herself 3 years ago after a fundraiser, then governed Silver Pines like a thief, assessing fines and renaming herself Community Vision Director online. Her husband left her. Her daughter Lindsay was on her 5th engagement, looking miserable. Pamela's obsession with my ranch wasn't love. It was control that evening. A sedan pulled up, a nervous woman with a ponytail held. Cornbread. I'm Jenna, from Silver Pines. I'm sorry, I didn't know Pamela would cut your fence. She said you'd approved a night shoot for Lindsay's wedding. I stared. You believe that? She teared up. She instructed me to lie to the sheriff, but I can't. I'll make a statement. She turned over texts from Pamela commanding cute barn pics. Daniels was over the moon. She confessed at the station, but Pamela wasn't finished. 3 days later, 2 city planners knocked your barns under review for unauthorized events. Maybe commercial use, it's closed. Pending inspection with fines up to $25,000. I snapped. I don't throw events, I raise horses. They shrugged. Complaint from Silver Pines. I knew who Pamela was, burying me in red tape. Her next email read, You should have sold. Now you'll beg me to take it. I met my lawyer Clara Halt, a no-nonsense Texan who ate land disputes for breakfast. This is retaliation, she said. Drafting cease and desist orders for Pamela, the HOA, and the city. We'll bury her in court. I felt hope until I woke to blaring pop music outside my gate. Pamela staged a wedding photo shoot with arches and balloons, with my barn as a backdrop. It's public land along the road. She smirked. Turn down the music. I growled. She leaned in. Be polite, Ethan. That zoning review's pending. I cranked my own speakers, blasting rock until she ran screaming. I'd ruined Lindsay's night that evening. My gate camera captured Pamela and a venue consultant with blueprints scheming phase 1. She tapped the gate, smirking. He'll break soon. Daniels called. Next die-in. Anonymous tip, alleged my ranch contained hazardous materials. Another Pamela ploy. I obtained a restraining order gathering all clip photo and email. But before I was able to serve it, I noticed a whiff of smoke. My east fence was burned, flames almost reaching the barn. Sprinklers saved it. But a melted tag read, Silver Pines' wedding survey. Arson felony. I reported footage to Clara. She called. We've got her for trespass, fraud, harassment. And now this. It's criminal. But an email video of Pamela, champagne in hand, raging, Ethan will regret making me a fool. Lindsay, pale, muttered, I don't want the wedding there. It's not ours, Pamela snapped, cutting the feed. Then Lindsay called. I'm sorry, she whispered, Mom's obsessed. I tried canceling the wedding. She threatened to fake a heart attack. She's making a big move next weekend. Be ready 2 days later. White strobe lights flashed, a wedding rental convoy, trucks, generators, a catering van sitting outside my gate. Pamela, wearing a headset, offloaded tents on a dance floor, staking my ranch for Lindsay's wedding. I summoned Clara. Time to sue everyone. Deputies and a fire marshal showed up, citing Pamela for blocking the highway, no permits, and unsafe equipment. Her permit was for a park, not my land. You're trespassing by proxy, Daniels warned. Pamela yelled at my camera. You ruined my daughter's wedding, you bitter old man. Clara filed an emergency court order, supported by video Lindsay's testimony and proof of arson, fraud, and harassment. We sued for $250,000. The county dropped Pamela's zoning complaints, complimenting my ranch's maintenance vendors, abandoned Silver Pines residents, kicked her out. Lindsay relocated to Nevada a week later. She dropped by bearing a silver horse, great-grandfather's rescued from Pamela's auction. "Keep this place yours," she told me. "I had a town cookout sheriff bringing ribs. Clara Cobbler Lindsay donated $2,000 for my horses." As the son told someone asked, "Ever rent this for a wedding?" I indicated a girl feeding Ranger for her. Maybe someone else asked real nice. 3 months later in court, Lindsay testified, "Mom used my wedding to control Ethan's land. She lied, broke laws, didn't care." The judge ordered $175,000, issued a 2-year restraining order, and fined Pamela for abusing county systems. She left silent alone. My barn scar was covered up, but its lesson remained some want. What's yours? Just because it's yours. Stand firm not in anger, but truth. My ranch glows red in the sun.